that's something that I'm very proud of this game, is that we were able to be very resilient.
Chloe, you were able to get a lot of open looks throughout the game, but not all of them fell. I mean, are you comfortable that those are shots that you guys can hit?
Oh yeah, I mean, if they're going to give us open shots, we're taking open shots every day. I think, Hannah and our kids, Natalie, came in, did a really good job of rebounding too. So they were giving us even more open looks. So yeah, they did a great job. The only way they're going to go in is to shoot them. So I'm fine.
Were you kind of surprised to be so open on that in the corner on that last, in the last three from the corner?
I guess so.
You're so wide open.
I mean, it's a change of rhythm shot that I shoot millions of times a day.
But it turned out good because she hit it anyway.
Exactly.
So.
Yep.
And the way you guys started the game, sort of carried throughout in the sense that, you just scored in these kind of quick bursts. I guess, is that something that you expect you could, kind of string into, potentially, making that next step and, taking the lead the next time going forward?
Yeah, I think, basketball's a game of runs, and limiting the other team's runs is probably, what we'll take from this game.
You have anything?
What are some of the biggest lessons you're going to take from this game going into the next one against South Carolina?
Oklahoma's a big, strong, physical team. We expect nothing less from South Carolina. There's some familiarity there, I guess, playing them the last couple years. Every tough team, tough matchup, they always are. It's a fun environment, being in Pentagon. Hopefully get a lot of fans there and can squeeze one out.
Anything else for Chloe and Liv? All right, thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
Sean, you want to go ahead and start us off with an opening statement?
Sure. Well, Oklahoma is obviously a great basketball team and a storied women's basketball program. And their three all Big 12 kids really played extremely, extremely well, made a lot of things happen in that game. I was really proud of our kids' effort and their toughness to come back in the second half and give ourselves a chance. Things didn't quite go our way down the stretch, last two possessions. But I thought our kids battled, and we'll learn from that. And now our reward is you go on and take on another great basketball team, and then our reward after that is you go on and take on another great basketball team. So that's just what we face throughout our entire non-conference.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was a loss and you want to win the game, but I thought it was, you guys had a great performance. I mean, you make a couple shots here and there, you might win the game, but it's nothing to be sad about, is it? I mean, it's...
I thought we played with great intensity. I thought our kids really battled. I thought we rebounded. You're playing against a team that is bigger than you, is more athletic in a lot of positions, and our kids really battled and showed, I thought, a lot of toughness. Made them make some tough shots. We had some that we would love to get back. We had some opportunities around the rim we'd love to have back, and I think it's an opportunity for us to continue to grow from it.
Are those shooting percentages out of character? Obviously, 59% at the line, 38% overall from the fields.
Yeah.
Something that you feel like you can see line.
I think we're a better offensive team than we showed in those situations, yes.
Is that anything Oklahoma did, just on the defensive end?
I think they're a team that is constantly wears on you because they're pushing, they're attacking, I think every time we got an offensive rebound, or we're close to getting an offensive rebound, we were swarmed by a lot of kids, so you've got to be able to get it, you got to be able to get it in traffic, you've got to be able to make something happen, so there was a lot of physicality, and so does that affect finishing? I think to some extent it does. I think if our kids were going to the rim, there was a lot of physicality, so they certainly did have something to do with that.
No. Just playing through runs, obviously weren't able to get that next step just to tie the game or go ahead. How do you finish off those runs that you were making in the game that just brought it within two but didn't get you the lead?
Well, you go back and you play another good team and you battle and you learn from it and put yourselves in positions in practice to keep working at it. But I thought our kids played with a lot of confidence down the stretch, and that's really important.
So are you going to go for the win or the tie there at the end if you would have got the ball in?
We had two options, or two or three options for us. So we had an option we had a couple options for twos and we had a couple options for threes. So we were going to take what we were going to get.
Was that just a matter of them playing really good defense on that last Was that inbounds or what, and what happened there in the last seconds?
Yeah, I think we probably needed to go with a little different look and put a little more pressure on the front side of things. So probably not a great play call at that point in time, and need to come back and get the basketball and make something happen. But again, a great opportunity for us to learn from it.
Liv seemed really comfortable in the mid-range throughout the game. I mean, is that something that you're going to look for her to get more of, or do you want her to be stretching her range a little bit?
Well, Liv has the ability to score it from the perimeter. She can really shoot it from the arc, but she's also a kid that one-on-one can get to the rim, and she's a kid that when you take that away, then she can pull up, elevate. I mean, she's a great player, and she made a lot of things happen for us. I thought, it was just really solid, and certainly someone that, we're going to continue to go to regardless of what time of the game it's at.
Yeah, and what were you saying to the referees after that final play?
Well, I wanted them to just check to see if the ball got touched. I just wanted them to check it. So maybe it did get touched, and then the clock started at the right time, but thought they could have at least checked it. We were all right there. I thought they could have, but they didn't, so.
She kind of holds her breath there when Hannah went down, and that could have been. It looked a lot worse, obviously, than it was.
Yeah, that's certainly.
That could have been a catastrophe.
And she played great. She really did.
Well, like you said, you're going from one good team to another. What are some of the biggest lessons you're going to take out of this game into the next one against South Carolina?
Well, I think the first thing that we have to take away is that Oklahoma really looks to push it. South Carolina really looks to push it. They maybe do it in a slightly different fashion than Oklahoma, but they're both teams that have the ability to kind of really score and score quickly. Their ability to get to the rim and space the floor. They run different offensive looks and different defensive segments, so there's not a lot of things per se that you take away and we can really kind of replicate and redo, but I think at the same time the mindset of playing and competing is something that we always build upon. Rebounding is something I thought we did a little bit better job of rebounding against Oklahoma later, but it's a specialty for South Carolina, so it's going to be, and they're a lot bigger, so it's going to be a lot harder.
You talked about Grace Harkins in the preseason a lot, just her looking for a shot. She had a pretty nice move at some middle of the game. How do you get her more involved in what she brings to the offense?
Yeah, we've got to get her to be able to play and understand, and it's really challenging as a freshman, to be thrown into an environment and just play with instincts, because you don't have a lot of instincts. Your instincts are what they were, but now all of a sudden you have to play within a system and a style, and that'll come for her. She's a great basketball player.
Is this something, the beginning of the schedule, the really tough stretch that you have, is that something that's going to be a lot harder for freshmen than it is for some of the more established players?
Yeah, for sure it is, because they're learning, their heads are spinning because they're learning so many different things, and I think that she's a kid that is certainly going to help us, absolutely.
Do you think that's something that would impact the way that you go about your lineups, or you still feel like you'll give freshmen their run, just based on what you're seeing in practice?
Grace is going to play. Grace is going to play quite a bit. She's got to continue to just battle and play with confidence, and she will get there.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.